And speaking of sovereignty, I want to ask you now about China. So China has, I believe they banned initial coin offerings. They blocked those. They've been trying to shut down Bitcoin exchanges there. Do you think China is going to be successful at this?
Yeah, right. They got like 1.5 billion people. Um, and okay, so maybe they restrict some of the pipelines of the fiat, via the exchanges and the fiat system, but people can still trade it via cash. And guess what? Blockstream rolled out these satellites, and these satellites are so freaking cool, right? Because right now, in order to run a full node and do your own network consensus, you need to use about 15 gigabytes of data every month, getting new blocks, relaying them, or whatever. With the satellite, that's taken to zero. It's free, completely free. You just have a satellite dish, costs $100. You can put it up anywhere in the world. You can download the Bitcoin blockchain. No bandwidth requirements. And guess what? You don't want your ISP to know that you're playing around with Bitcoin? Use a satellite. You don't want the Great Firewall of China to know you're dinking around with Bitcoin and evading their capital controls or whatever? Use the satellite. And so this is an example of where developers and custom infrastructure is now in place for the Bitcoin network. I mean, this is really awesome because like the traditional internet could have serious problems result from it. You could have undersea cables cut, you could have some type of war or other stuff that sabotages it. But the Bitcoin network would still hum along in a lot of ways because we'd have all these blocks getting propagated via the satellites. So it increases the resilience and the censorship resistance of the network. It lowers the cost of running a full node. It increases your privacy so that nobody knows that you're running a full node, not even your ISP, right? And then you can have a laptop that doesn't even have a Wi-Fi card in it, but is still connected to this satellite, and so you can run a full node on a laptop that otherwise has no other networking components to it. So it's much more secure. So these are features that the Bitcoin network now has that other blockchains don't have. I don't see any satellites for Dogecoin out there. And yeah, so I mean, you want to become the sovereign of your money, like hold the private keys yourself. And guess what? Now you got a satellite, so you can literally do that anywhere in the world. Because these satellites cover the entire planet. They're broadcasting blocks over the entire planet, or will by the end of the year. I think 66% of the planet right now, and they'll have the remaining rest of the planet covered with the satellite downloads by the end of the year. So I mean,
Is this
so
the same?
cool.